Hey ladies, I have to come on really quick. I have to tell you already that I don't think the enemy wants you to get this word, but I'm going to give it anyway. I had a great revelation this morning, and it actually began about 4 years ago when I was really seeking God about a move that I really believe He was going to have me make, but I kept seeking Him about when it was time to make the move. And I would inquire of Him, and I would hear Him say, "Not yet." And then later that year, about, I don't know, it was probably 6 months, 7 months after I thought I had heard it originally, I got a clear response from Him. And I clearly heard, "Now is the time." And I was so in expectancy of that word that I knew immediately what He was answering when I heard it. And I definitely moved in accordance to that word. But one of the things is when I got that word, I was actually meeting with a friend of mine and had shared with her that God had released me, essentially. And I remember her saying to me that sometimes we have to that when the Israelites were crossing, that they actually had to stand in the water before God parted it. And so I didn't know that. So I went back and I looked, but the only thing I found at that time was Moses and the Red Sea. And God actually parted the sea before Moses entered the water. He gave him instructions, and the sea was actually already parted. And so I had continued to wonder about it, but I, just kind of sat it down from there. Well, literally this morning in my time, in my Bible study time, I'm in starting the book of Joshua. And in the book of Joshua, he is then commanded to take them across the Jordan. And guess what is at the beginning of them crossing the Jordan? Is the instruction to stand in the water first, and then the sea would be parted. And so first of all, I got excited because I'm like, there it is. That's what she was referencing. And 3.5 years, hadn't found it. And yet, as I got excited about just God revealing that to me, I saw something else. And that's that I came on the first and wrote that now is the time, which was the message that I even got back when I was seeking God for that thing. Had been told that sometimes God requires us to get in the water first, but couldn't find it. But was now able to draw the parallel between the two journeys and between the two commands. And when I see Moses and in Exodus commanding them through the Red Sea, God likened that time to us as babes, to us as not knowing the way, being new in our faith, and how God had to operate in a particular way back then when our faith wasn't necessarily built up, when it wasn't necessarily strong in His word or in His power, because we're just starting out. That yes, there were times back then that things seemed to just flow, and that door would open and it would open before you got there, so you knew to take it. So what had been happening is that you've been operating in that same mindset with the things that He's told you to do. You're looking for the door to open again. You're looking for the sea to part for you. But the Lord is saying, no, I brought you from beyond that time and that place. There's a lot that happened. I believe, 40 years had happened between the Red Sea and the Jordan. So in that time now there's a requirement of us to actually get in the water before the sea parts, before the door opens. And so when I said on the first that now is the time, I remember even saying there may be something that you tried before and it didn't work. And now is the season. My pastor actually on Monday said the same thing. And so there's definitely a sound that we are all hearing. And we need to move accordingly. And so I really want to encourage you to not wait for that sea to part. I do believe that God is requiring of us to take a step inside the water, and then it will part. So I pray this blesses you. It's so blessed me this morning. And just a confirmation that now is the time to launch, go, green light, all of the above. If ever it's shouted at you from all directions, it appears to be now. So I just encourage you to take that step, to take that leap, to jump. Because the things, if God directed you to it, He will do it. He will do it. He will do it. So I pray that you will heed His word and put your feet in the water. Have a good day.